Here's how to tie the Taut Line Hitch. Start by wrapping the free end around the object. Then go around the standing end twice in the direction of the loop. Now take the end and cross over and do another turn in the same direction. And finally tug the end underneath itself like this. It's a very simple slide and grip knot that you can use anytime you need to tension the guy lines of your tent or your tarp, or if you need to make a close hanging line. If it still slides when you pull on it, you can do 3 turns or even 4 turns before finally finishing the knot. This will make it harder to slide, but it will have much more friction. And that's how a finished taut line hitch should look like.
In this video, you will learn how to tie a pile hitch knot, step by step. The pile hitch knot is quick, secure, and super versatile. It's especially handy for mooring a boat or attaching a rope to a post when you don't have access to both ends of the rope. However, keep in mind that the pole needs one end completely free to wrap the bight around. Let's get started. First, take your rope and wrap it around the top of the pole. Then, form a bight, which is basically a U-shaped loop in the middle of the rope. Take the bight, wrap it around the post near the free end of the pole. Now cross the bight over the standing ends of the rope and carefully place the bight over the free end of the pole. Pull on the standing ends of the rope to tighten the knot. A quick tip: lower the knot slightly before tightening to make it extra secure and reduce the chance of slipping off. You can make the pile hitch knot even more secure by wrapping the rope around the post 2 or 3 more times before finishing the knot. This knot is perfect for situations where the rope ends are already attached to something. But if you need a knot that's more permanent or under a heavy load, consider alternatives like the clove hitch or the anchor hitch knot. And there you have it, the pile hitch knot tied and ready for action.
Here's how to tie the rolling hitch. Take the end of the rope and go around the subject. Then cross the standing end and then do another full turn around it like this. Then go around the free end like this, and finally tuck it underneath itself over here, and then tighten it before using it. In the end, it should look something like this, and it should be pulled in the direction opposite to the working end. If you pull it perpendicular to the object or in the other direction, then the knot isn't as strong. It's only meant to be pulled in this direction. It's usually used in construction for lifting up heavy tools, scaffolding pipes, and timber. In this case, another half hitch is tied around the other end of the object so that when it's hanging perfectly vertical. Here's how to tie the 2 half hitches knot. Start by taking the end of the rope and going around the support. Then go around the standing end and through this loop formed over here, and tighten the knot. And then proceed by tying another identical half hitch in the same direction, and finally tighten it. It isn't the most secure knot, but it does work well with most types of non-slippery ropes. You can use it pretty much any time you need to attach a rope to a ring or a post. But if you want a stronger knot, then it can be improved in 2 ways. The first way is to do 1 additional turn around the post before tying the 2 half hitches. This makes it much stronger. And in this case, it's called the round turn and 2 half hitches knot. The other one is to just tie another half hitch after the second one. In this case, it's called the 3 half hitches knot. Here's how to tie the anchor hitch. Start by taking the end of the rope and going 2 times around the object. Now take the end and go over and underneath both of these loops, and tighten it as much as you can before proceeding next. Then take the end and again go around the standing end, and this time tuck it underneath itself over here, creating another half hitch. It's essentially a very strong hitch that is very unlikely to untie even with heavy or intermittent loads. It's actually very similar to the round turn and 2 half hitches knot, except here the first half hitch goes underneath both of these loops, making it more reliable and stronger. Use it anytime you need to attach something heavy to a pipe, a pole, or something similar. Here's how to tie the Lighterman's hitch. Start by wrapping the rope around the support 2 times. You'll need to leave the end pretty long because you'll need to wrap around the support many times. Now take the end of the rope, pass it underneath the standing end, and then do another turn on the top. As you tie it, make sure to adjust these strands so that they're sitting next to one another. After that, take the rope end and go around the support and do another turn around the top. Then again, go around the support and do another turn. And finally, to secure it, take the end of the rope and go around the support and tuck it underneath itself to create a half hitch, and then tie another identical half hitch right underneath it to secure it with 2 half hitches. This is known to be one of the strongest hitches out there because the force is evenly distributed along the whole knot. It's easier to tie than the tensionless hitch, so use it anytime you have access to the free end of the post, like I have right now. Another benefit is that it doesn't jam and you can untie it very easily. Here's how to tie the tensionless hitch knot. It's the strongest hitch knot to use around a support because it doesn't lose any strength in the knot itself. In fact, the end strength is just as strong as the breaking strength of the rope itself. You can use it to create an attachment point around a tree when rappelling, climbing, or in various car winching setups because it's really strong. Start by wrapping the end of the rope around the support 3 to 4 times. When that's done, take the end of the rope and fold it in half. Now take the end and go under, over, under, and through the final opening over here. Now you've tied what's called a figure 8 on a bight. Take your carabiner and go through this final loop and around the standing end to finish the knot. But if you want to, you can also tie it without using a carabiner. After making the 4 full turns, take the end of the rope and go under itself, over, under, and through the final loop to create a loose figure of 8 knot. Now take the end and go around the standing end as illustrated over here. And finally, you need to retrace the loose figure of 8 that you just made with the end of the knot just in the other direction. Now the knot is finished and it works pretty much in the same way, only it's a bit harder to untie later on. Here's how to tie the Buntline Hitch. It's essentially tied by creating a clove hitch around the standing end and then creating a self-tightening loop in the process. To tie it, take the end of the rope and go around the object, then go around the standing end on the right side, then go around it on the left side, and finally go under this strand over here to create a clove hitch. Tighten it fully by pulling both ends in opposite directions, and only then tighten the loop. As you can see, you can tie it very quickly and very easily, but not only that, it's also a very secure hitch, which you can use anytime you need to attach to a post, a tree, or something similar. Its only downside is that it can be pretty hard to untie once it's been loaded with weight. To learn other useful knots, subscribe to our channel.